Hello, hello, and welcome to the stream. We're going to be continuing adventures in Lestoria's game development. We left off working on the Pirate Buccaneer, which has a ranged lined-up shot. So, what we're going to be doing is, first, the Pirate Buccaneer is going to aim at the player. During this time, there will be some kind of like lock-on line that will be drawn across the field. And then 0.3 seconds before they fire, the lock-on target will be like, well, locked on. It can no longer be adjusted. So the targeting angle becomes adjusted, and then they fire their shot. So to make this effect happen, we have a little graphic. It's just 1x5 or 5x1. Trying to remember what it was called. We added it last time. Let me see. Oh, there it is. Line indicator.png. Okay. The line indicator. So this thing, we're going to scale up. And basically it's just going to appear on the map before this they fire during this time. Of course, you can try to move out of the way. And they'll lock on. Type of deal. So let's get that implemented first. I'm going to be using draw. Oh, let me think about this. I think I realized this last time. If we use draw partial rotate decal, just trying to remember the details here. And we put the center at, I think, whatever half the width and height of the image is, then it will scale from that center. Let's confirm that real quick. I always like forget this. Every time I try to do some kind of like line drawing scaling thing, I always forget the details on this one. We don't really do it enough. It doesn't pop up often. But never hurts to check up on it real quick. Let's grab PG example. Okay, so let's just draw. I have some kind of example images, so we'll pull one. Let's use that flames texture thing. That's fine. Flames texture.png. Flame load. Assets, flames, texture.png. Okay. We're going to draw in the center. Screen size divided by 2. Flame decal. Center of image. No scaling yet. Alright. Puts in the middle, as we would expect. Next thing we do is, presumably, if I just scale the scaling factor by some number, That will, of course, scale it in one direction, like so. So they should be very wide now. Yes. So one thing I always forget is if we use like draw partial rotate decal, is can I specify a pixel amount? And it will scale based on that. So we got angle, we have our center, the source position. Yeah, this is where I always have to think about it. If there's no clamping, right, so we usually turn off clamping for this image, by the way. That way it can be repeated over and over. If we start our source position here, and we went to source size, well then we would do our scaling based on that too, I think. But we could also just extend source size. But then the question becomes, does that affect where the center is, and does the center have to move based on that? So what I mean is, by default, if we were to specify the size here for the entire image, then it would look normal, right? And then what happens if I multiply that size by 2? Does it do it from the center, or does it do it from the original center? Let's actually do 4 for a more dramatic effect. Okay, so we can see here that this is still considered the center, so it does not move. So to make that work, the center has to become whatever half of this is in order for it to always work out that way. And that kind of makes sense. I think that's pretty, like, understandable. Okay. So now that we understand that, let's head back here. So yeah, I like to use draw partial rotate decal because it's just easier to understand like pixel sizes rather than try to scale it based on another pixel size. It's just easier to work with, honestly. So wherever we want this to be, is going to be the midpoint between the current target location and the actual location. Let me think about this for a second. So I don't think this is actually where I want to do this. The reason is I'm going to be changing it constantly. Sure, we go to the wind-up phase, but we don't change it till we are in the wind-up phase because we're going to be throwing out an aiming cursor that's going to change direction until like the very last second. So we have an if statement here saying if the shoot timer is greater than or equal to some value. I don't think we have a... Oh, maybe we do. Okay, so it's greater than or equal to the attack lock-on time. Alright, how about this? How much of the wind-up time is spent without the aiming direction changing? Right, so that's going to become the value we plug in there for determining if we update the drawing location. And we're going to be passing the target location there. So we have the lock-on position. I think during this time as well, we want to always face the correct direction that we're aiming at. So we'll be performing this shooting animation constantly to keep aiming at the player. Okay. During this function, we'll pass in... Oh, we do have access to the monster. Well, that makes things easier. So the midpoint. To get the midpoint, we just do monster's position plus targeting position divide by 2. Center will be at the midpoint. Decal will be line indicator .png. Grab the decal. Angle of shooting. We gotta find that out, don't we? Shooting angle is 0.2. Or, I guess, direction. Wait, don't I have a function for this? Like point direction or something? I have distance. 0.2. Why don't I have like a point direction? That sounds really handy to have, and I don't have one. I mean, I can just take 0.2 and convert it to polar coordinates and grab the y value, but I feel like I should just... Oh, angle 2. There it is. I'm like, I swear I've made this before. We've definitely had to use it before. Position 2. Lock on position. Okay. So that's our shooting angle. We're gonna plug in there. Alright, so we need to find out how long the line is gonna be. And what I actually want to do is make the line really, really long. It's just gonna extend past the edge of the screen. So you're just gonna see a giant line indicator from the Buccaneer all the way down the map, wherever they're aiming. I think that would look pretty cool. So we're gonna make the size of the image relatively large enough to where your screen will... You'll never see the edge of the line. So we'll just choose some arbitrary amount, I guess. Which means the... Okay, center. Right, so we have to decide what that's gonna be. So we'll say the image size is going to be... I don't know if I want to keep it 5 in width, so I have this, like, arrow hitbox radius thing. Technically, I should make the line indicator match whatever the arrow's hitbox is going to look like. That way, if we adjust it, the line will become larger or smaller based on it. And that to me kind of makes sense. So this line is currently, with not counting the center pixel, 2 pixels out from the edge. So if we have an arrow hitbox radius of 6 pixels, I want the line to go... Radius, yeah. So I want the line to actually extend 3 times its normal amount. So it would be 3 times the size. That kind of thing. And that way it just kind of scales with it in that case. So the width is going to be dynamic. Unfortunately, we're going to have to pass that in, so... Arrow, that's const. Arrow hitbox radius. Config float. And the reason we have to do that is we have to pass it in as a... We pass in a copy of the variable. Do the strategy draw function. And that helps us determine the width of the image size. So I'm going to do arrow hitbox radius. Well, that is the image size directly, isn't it? That's kind of interesting. We have to multiply it by 2 because it is a radius, though. So that's going to be the width. And then the height is going to be, oh, just something ridiculous. Let's do, like, 1600 pixels. Just some impossibly large number that is never going to really matter. So then we can take the image size divided by 2, source pause becomes 0, 0, source size becomes image size. No, that's not right, because we're scaling it. We're not necessarily tiling it, are we? At least on the x-axis. On the y-axis, we are, actually. That's interesting. Real quick. Actually, I think every asset by default is not clamped. I'm pretty sure. Which means that we can actually extend along the y-axis as far as we want, but along the x-axis, we're going to be limited to the width of the image. Yeah, this is kind of weird. I was hoping I could just use this, but I'm gonna have to scale it anyways. Now that's interesting, because now I just supply the scale instead. Maybe doing it by scale was the correct play then, just so I didn't have to manage two, like, variables. That is kind of weird. Okay. Okay. Well, anyway. So I make the source position 0, 0. The source size to be the image's size. And then the scale is going to take the image size and divide that by its original size to get what the scaling factor should be based on what we provided. Very interesting. Okay. So we got that. Cool. Oh, I just noticed I have this if statement in two places. Let's consolidate, because it's literally the same thing. And I kind of want to just have a look. So tonight's goal is to finish the Pirate Buccaneer. What time is it? We might actually have time to do 2 tonight, but ideally want to get Pirate Buccaneer completely done, which should be entirely doable. I want to look at, let's look at the document real quick for Chapter 3 Monsters. Pull this over real quick. Alright. Pirate Captain's a little more involved. They just have a variety of attacks. So base pirate behavior, as in they can walk up and slash. They have a hand gun. So every 6 seconds if range is less than 400, there's a 60% chance to stand still and shoot his gun. So it's kind of interesting for the gun, because he has to be close to the player. Like, it's more like a kind of like a close range spread shotgun pistol style thing. So kind of interesting there. I'm trying to think how I want to handle that. Probably just like fires a bullet out. I think that would make the most sense here. Stand still for 0.5 seconds, boom, fires. Can be like a medium fast bullet. Once the captain drops below 300 health, he pulls out a bottle of rum and starts drinking, takes 2 seconds, and recovers 150 of his health. Only happens one time. There's also a parrot, which we're going to attach to the pirate, which is going to sit on his shoulder. And then it starts flying 2 seconds after the enemy is visible. So, starts on the shoulder, then flies away. The parrot has the same stats of behavior like Chapter 2 of Hawks. I'm trying to think how I would implement that. So, maybe at the start, we'll override the draw like screen overlay function and draw the parrot just like either that, or I can Yeah, it's kind of interesting how that would work. Because we do have like a monster overlay thing where we can draw another monster sprite on top of a sprite. I think we get to choose a position when we do that. Let me look at how I did Boar Rider, because that's going to really like determine how we do this. So Goblin Boar Rider, yeah, we have a mounted animation and we choose an offset for it, which is kind of interesting. Oh, and we used a separate sprite for it. So I could design it in such a way to where it's sitting on a shoulder and like it's rotated correctly. Yeah, I definitely could do that. So that's probably how we'll make it work. Um, okay, that's easy enough. That makes sense. Should be entirely doable. Parrot doesn't. So yeah, when the parrot flies off, we'll set the mounted animation to be blank, and then the parrot's kind of on its own. Flies around, starts diving down towards the player. The parrot doesn't die, it gets stunned for 5 seconds on death and then recovers, which is a new mechanic, by the way, so we're going to have to add that. And I already provided some kind of like property for that, we just have to implement it tonight. Instead of the monster dying, it gets knocked unconscious. Yeah, and then comes back to life. When the captain dies, the parrot flies away and despawns out of the screen. So the parrot's going to require a dependency on the captain. If the it's going to have like a weak pointer to it. If the weak pointer expires, then we just start calling like a fly away script. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. We'll probably get started on it tonight, maybe not finish it, but we have all the most of the tools necessary to implement as well. Anyway, I wanted to see what this looked like before continuing. And then we gotta create the actual bullet itself. So yeah, during the windup phase, we should see a line just kind of appear and follow us around a little bit. And then we'll make the bullet. And that's pretty much all this thing does. We do have to change the runaway range. Or maybe we don't because it's already correct. Yeah, we'll see. Musket underscore trail. Oh. Wait, what? I guess I didn't make that? Or, wait, no I did. I remember I did. Let me see. Yeah, it's right there. Oh, because I have to delete the asset pack, though. We still have to do the deletion part. It's just, it will no longer crash every time we redo it, so. That's the part we fixed. Uh, the heck? What? Why is that? Why is the left walking animation messed up? How did I goof that? Oh wow, yeah, I can just see it. Wowie, how... Oh goodness. Oh dear. Let's see here. Are the rest all off? It looks like the rest are all off now. Wow. At least everything in here is all off by that amount, so it looks like I messed up when I was moving these over. Oopsies. It's not a big deal because we can correct it. But yeah. Ouch. Okay. So actually this was fine. It was just these were like this one was poking into there. All right. So what's up with the line? Because it's clearly not being drawn in the right spot. We take the monster's position versus our lock-on position divided by 2. That should be the midpoint. The shooting angle should be from the monster's position to the lock-on position. Sounds correct to me. Unless I messed up this whole function. Like the arguments. Nope, that's supposed to be angle. Next one's supposed to be the center and the size. Wait. Center. Uh-oh. Wait, center, source pause, 0, 0. Source size. Followed by the scale. Huh. I'm convinced that's accurate. I mean, it looked the image in terms of size looked correct. Clearly, it was not the right spot, though. But why? But why? It's always the question. Hmm. Let's look at it one more time, see if we can gather any insight. Could also debug some things and take a look at what values are being passed in. Trying to make sense of it. Oh, I think I know what's happening. We're not drawing it from the game view perspective of the screen. So it's not actually in world coordinates. I think that's the biggest issue. It's still not like pointing in the correct direction though, which is also confusing me. Like at the very least I was expecting it to be pointing in the correct direction, but it's not even doing that. So that's really strange. But yeah, it definitely wasn't being drawn in world coordinates, so just kind of all over the place. Oh, I see. We have, it points up and down instead of left and right, so we actually need to add... We have to add pi to this, or pi over 2 to this, so that's rotated. Uh, Actually, let me think about that. Does it really matter? It'll either be plus or minus. I think... I don't actually know which way. I can't think of that off the top of my head. But yeah, the image is rotated. So it's facing up and down instead of left to right. Okay, well... Still not the correct position, which is strange. Oh, I guess it's... The midpoint wants to be the lock-on position. Okay, yeah, I messed up here. And 1,600 away from it. So if we drew a line, yeah, we can change this actually to be geometry. So if we were to draw a line going from the monster's position to its target, and then we extended that line by 1,600, or actually 800, that would give us the midpoint of a line that's being drawn with 1,600 distance. And that's what we're interested in. Okay, that makes more sense. So that should now be correct. I'm changing the runaway range to 1,000 because that's what the spec wants. We don't need this, I don't think. And it wants to be within ranges, trying to stay in 1,000 range. So I'll just say the stand still and shoot range can be anywhere from like 800 to 1,200. Like, it's just really far away. And it's gonna try, like, take advantage of that. So ideally, they start, like, slightly spawned off screen, and will start aiming at you, and you have to, like, dodge them and meet them. You have to walk up to them, essentially. Okay, that is still wrong. For some reason. Hmm. But I'm not sure why. Because we said the length of it is now 1,600, so I pointed that as 800 distance away. Should mean 800 in both directions, leading to a 600 point line, so there should be no extra going back into the monster itself. Hmm. Hmm. All right, let's get some numbers from this. So, if I were to imagine this, if I stand to the right of the monster, I also don't know why the monster just walks up to us. That part's a little strange to me. It shouldn't be like that. Okay, so we're expecting that if we have a line pointing to the right, that this line should be 800 units right of where we're standing. Or where the monster's standing. So this is the midpoint it's using. Should be 800 units to the right of wherever we are. So this right here, we have the position. We can see it's roughly 800 units away. So that's good. That's correct. Then we have the shooting angle and the image size. Shooting angle should be roughly 0. It's optimized out, it looks like. Same with image size. But yeah, we have a 1600 here. So we're expecting, if we draw from this position, this midpoint, we draw 800. No, we draw 1600. Scaling. Is that right? Maybe this is doubled. I think I meant to do 800 here. Yeah. I think that's doubled. And that's my fault. I want this to be 800. Yeah, because the way I'm thinking it, it seems like it's doubled. The way I'm thinking about it. Yeah, so that should fix it. Because 1600 would mean 16 times its normal scaling, but in both directions. Which is not what I want. Oops. Definitely not what I want. There we go. That's what we want. Okay. I do need to figure out why he's running into us. That's not right. Outside max shooting range. Distance to players greater than or equal to standstill and shoot range. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Shouldn't this be run away? Not run towards? If outside max shooting range. Oh, okay, move towards when we're... Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So where's the one that makes us... Oh, run away. Shouldn't this be run away? Or run towards the inverted direction. Runaway range. Runaway range is 1,000. Oh. So I just treated this wrong. We run away when it's a less than... Wait, yeah. Now I'm confused. We run towards if distance to players greater than or equal to 1200. But if distance to player is less than 1,000, we run away. Yes. This makes sense. Huh. I must be messing something up here. I want to see what the target position gets set to when this occurs. Because the runaway range is 1,000. So when it closes in, it's going to try to run away. And so its target should be pointing the opposite of the current way it's pointing. I mean, it works for bow goblins, I'm pretty sure, so... Okay, so right away, we trigger it. Target is 731, 1441. Where's the player right now? Player is 252, 1475. So yeah, it's gonna be to the right of the player, which is correct. It's gonna try to run towards that position. Which it's not doing. Clearly not doing. I wonder if it's like... Well, it's definitely not doing this one right now, then. If it starts spawn too close to the player, it's always going to try to run away. So I don't think it's ever executing this. So it's just choosing not to follow its target, which is... not... Well, that's not what it's supposed to be doing. Yeah. So it never does this ever. Which makes sense, because it's always running towards us. And doing this. Target is 243. Let me see. So yeah, it's supposed to be running to our right, but it's running towards us to our left. Why? Let me see. Something is like not allowing it to work. Oh, wait. I did forget about this. Is it screwy because of the target acquired timer? Well, it just got reset, right? Well, still 0. Wait time. Wait time. Did I delete that by accident? Sorry, no, I don't think it matters here. $208. Oh, okay, yeah. So if we don't set the target acquire timer higher, so on the... Why didn't this happen on the bow goblin though? Target acquire... This is really strange. Because it doesn't happen in this scenario. Only in this scenario? Which is very confusing. There must be something else going on. Basically, the target acquired timer being set to 0 means it's always going to actually just point towards the player every time. But why doesn't it happen for the bow goblins? Now I want to check the bow goblins. What if this behavior changed recently? And we just didn't know about it, and now they're broken. That's what I'm worried about now. Let's have a look. I think we have boars at the beginning. See, these guys work okay. They work proper. But the question is why? It must be that runaround thing. Let me see. I mean, not really. Not really, but I will humor this and see if it triggers. Oh, it's compiled. It's optimized out apparently. I will humor it real quick. I want to see if it's also doing something like that. Okay. So what I'm interested in is... Crud. Why is it optimized out? Tree. I mean, it's optimized out because it saves us time, but what? Hmm. Optimizations are a good thing, of course, but I need to see what the difference is so we can get to the bottom of why it works there but not here. I'm just gonna put a bow goblin in this map and we'll see. I have to go to debug mode. Ugh. We love debug mode. It would be nice to know what the difference is though. It seems like it's clear all I need to do is set the target acquire timer to 0, but that doesn't explain why the bow goblin with pretty much the exact same copy-pasted code does not do the same thing. It's actually really... it bugs me a lot. There must be a coding error somewhere. Either in this Pirate Buccaneer strategy script, or something the bow goblin does that I'm just oblivious to right now. We need to find out. Yes. But I'm feeling a little tired, so we'll call it here once this is done. I'm gonna get the bullet done and make sure it works and then call it good. I made it so charge shot we can specify what the bullet looks like. We can specify what the trail looks like. So it should be as simple as throwing a charge shot bullet at the player. And the rest is already working. So I don't expect that to take too much time. If at all. No, don't go in here. Dang it. Okay, so we want to check what is going on. What makes a difference, right? What determines what here? Also, hold on. What all goes? So what I'm half expecting is the target acquire timer. Okay, so in this scenario, and this is interesting, the target acquire timer actually is a higher value. And so now I'm thinking to myself, wait, maybe this wait time thing was important. We're just not. Let me see. Is it in Goblin Bow? Bow Goblin? Is that what I did? I deleted it? No, look at this. Oh, so it's an override in here? Is that what that is? No. I don't understand. So why is it... Where is it getting this wait time thing from? Alright, let's wait for this trigger, shall we? This is for, the other monsters, isn't it? For Pirate Buccaneer. Yeah. Let's... let's... let's break on a condition. Let's break when m.name is equal to Goblin Bow. Bleh. How about... Let's find something that we can use property-wise. How would we do this? Interesting. I don't know, actually. Oh my god. How about in here then? Because it's just a... Okay, yeah, let's do that. m.target acquire timer less than or equal to like 0.1, I guess. Okay. So in this scenario, it's very low, right? So we go into here. There we go. We got it now. So it's going to set the target acquire based on the wait time config value. Where does it get this from is the question, because it's not in the monster definition. So strategy run towards has property wait time. So the wait time by default is 3? Okay. Well, if that's how that's gonna be, why doesn't this work for Pirate Buccaneer then? Let's check. Because that's what's different, right? Oh. The Wait, am I an idiot? The answer is usually yes, you were an idiot for this. But no, I have run towards in here as like the strategy name. So when it goes into here, that's what the strategy should be looking for config. What? What? One more time? Crud, I shouldn't have closed it. Okay. So, once again, the strategy passed in is run towards, so we already know that's good. Go in here, and the strategy passed in is run towards. So. Wait, what? Huh? Param? What? Isn't the param wait time? It is. Run towards, right? So it's saying it has the property wait time for this monster. Where? Show me. Show me. Where is this? Pirate Buccaneer. Oh. Wait, when was this always here? Wow, what? Wait, is this in everybody's right now? Why is this in here? Who had this originally? Wait time override. Who had this originally? Crab, Pirate Marauder. Pirate. Goblin Dagger. So Goblin Dagger had this first. I guess... Oh, so they could always just be running towards the player. Okay. So this is useful for Pirate. Pirate Marauder. Interesting. Very interesting. So they could always be running towards the player. Okay. I didn't realize I was just like copy pasting this blindly. Well, I'm glad that's resolved. So that's a good thing. Alright, at least it's like a sensible reason why it was doing that. So that's good. Unfortunately, I didn't catch on. Oops. Yeah, I'm glad it was just something trivial like that and not some actual bug, because that would be annoying. Okay, so yeah, now it probably just keeps its distance, runs away from us. About what we would expect. And then we have to play the shooting animation when that occurs. So we'll say perform animation. Let me see, there is like a reload, right? Yeah, so there's a reload. There should be like a shooting animation, which is just like a fire animation phase, I guess. Fire animation. That way we just have like this slight pause while that animation plays. I think it's just called shooting. Yes. And we wait for a moment. Not too much. Call it the shoot timer. Set it to shooting animation timer. We could actually just match it to the frame duration of the animation. That makes the most sense to me. get current animation, get total animation duration. That'll be how long it lasts. Once it's done playing the animation, we jump straight back to the move phase, and we'll play the idle animation. Cool. So shooting here. Create bullet. So like I said, we made some changes to the charged shot bullet type, so it accepts custom, I already have this, what the heck? Isn't it called charged shot? Apparently it's not called charged shot. Charged, oh, charged arrow, okay. Oops. Charged arrow. Yeah, we made some changes, so we specify a shot arrow graphic now. Did I make a thing for this? I didn't really make a thing for this, did I? I don't know what I would make here. I guess I would just put a little, like, ball. Now that I really think about it. I don't really want to use the charge shot arrow. So I think I'll just make a little ball. Like a gray or silver or metallic kind of ball thing, and then we'll just use that as the image, because I don't really want to use that. It's not an arrow, so. We'll just go for something like that. Doesn't have to be large, just something simple. Musket bullet. And that's the graphic we'll specify. After that, we specify the laser graphic. We already have that. I think that's what it is. And then we have, the rest should be the same. So we have pause, fell, position starts at the monster's position. Velocity, we have a arrow speed thing, so we'll use that. It needs to point towards our target. This is a normalized vector, so we multiply that by the arrow speed. The radius, arrow hitbox radius. Damage. Damages the monster's attack. Why does it keep changing? It keeps changing which version of this it thinks I'm using. Okay, end. Think and bullet. Yeah. So that should do that. Let's see what it looks like. I don't know why I have a no discard here. Oh wait, never mind. It's just possibly. I don't know why it talks about that a lot, but it's not. It's a false warning. I've checked it like a million times. I'm like, how could it be incorrect order of operations? I know what I'm doing. I promise. Uh-oh. What happened? I just typed the wrong name or something? What did I type? I typed... Oh, it's just blank. What the heck? Image file is blank. Did I, like, mess up? Oh, it looks like I don't have image files set here. Wasn't that wonderful? Yeah, that's kind of awkward. Wait, that's not right either. It should be under image file, add state, image file, animation data at. But image file is blank here, so I must have goofed. Did I like not pass it correctly? Let me see. That's probably what happened. Didn't get passed correctly. So the laser trail. Laser. Oh, yeah, I see it. Oopsies. That would do it. I feel like the bullet should have some knockback properties to it. Probably try to add some. We'll see. Nice. Except it's using the wrong thing. Also, that line should disappear when it's done shooting. I like how it looks, but it should be using the musket trail, not the charge shot trail. So... that's kind of weird. But that is working as intended, so that's good. Set strategy draw function to blank here. So how is it still drawing this? Oh, because this is after. Wait. Yeah, that doesn't really make sense. If it's less than or equal to 0, do this. Then shoot time... Oh, I use shoot timer again. That's why. I'm going to put an else statement there. That should not happen if this happens. Alright, musket trail. Oh. Yep. There we go. Laser graphic, set to laser graphic. That's why I was using the laser version instead. Other than that, it looks like it works. I might actually speed up the bullet a little bit. But I like how large and chunky the bullet looks. Like, it actually is really good. I like the size, it's perfect. So that's a good thing. Kind of by accident that just worked out that way, but it's actually what I intended. Very much. Boom. Looks good. Doesn't look like it's playing the animation though. At least not for a long time. Like it's... I call shooting. Oh, I see what happened. We have to count down the shooting timer. I like totally ignored the fact that we have a timer going on here. Timer is less than or equal to 0. Do this. Cool. So yeah, maybe a little faster, like 800. Feels good though. I really like how it turned out. So I'm very happy about it. So I'd say mission accomplished for tonight. Another monster down. we're going through these pretty quick nowadays. Um, just very, we just have very powerful like systems now to work with, so we don't spend as much time on that. Ow. Yeah, I think it's pretty nice. And the shearing animation looks good. Yes, I am. Implemented pirate. This did not update. Okay. Pirate. Buccaneer. AI. Release build 11621. I think I usually put build not version. That's really all I changed. Oh, removed unnecessary run towards overrides in monsters list. Everything else looks good. Oh, and I also fix charged arrow to use proper laser graphic when a custom one is specified. Cool, cool. Another one down, so next time we'll work on Pirate Captain, one of the most involved ones, just because of the amount of attacks he has, plus the parrot thing. And then we have the crabs. Both of these are pretty similar to each other, so I even have them set up with the same strategy, because they're both going to use it, it's just one doesn't wait as long, so we'll have an override variable for that one. Now we have the seagull and the sandworm, which sandworm is also kind of involved, so this could be an interesting one to do. But we have the rest of the week for that one, so for those. So we're making good time. Yeah, things are coming along smoothly, especially with considering I can just reuse a lot of scripts now, which is really handy. But yeah, that'll be for another time. I'm gonna head to bed. For those of you that tuned in, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Kind of a short stream, but got some more stuff done. Take care.